Hey, welcome everyone. I'm Jerry. Thanks for watching my video. So I'm gonna go completely off the top of my head here and just kind of ramble, which I probably do anyway. Even when I have notes and I know what I'm talking about, I still kind of end up rambling. But I'm gonna just kind of give my thoughts on the overall Rick and Morty. So that's for those who don't know and why'd you click on the video. But um, Rick and Morty, the Cartoon Network Adult Swim show that was a surprise hit, a big hit, and that has kind of spawned a whole lot of different like little groups or conspiracies and different things like that. It is, for a very kind of high overview of it, it's about a super genius, Rick Sanchez, and his grandson Morty, who's like an average normal kid, Morty. And it's kind of like a twisted Back to the Future, but instead of traveling through time, they just travel all over like the universe and even to alternate realities too as well. That kind of gets into the show as well. It's a big piece of the show actually, alternate dimensions and universes. But one of the big things is that the show is very nihilistic. Nothing has meaning. The universe is pointless. There's no meaning to anything. The universe is so big and there's so many people that nothing matters and nothing you do matters. And you know that can kind of depend on how your mood and how you read it, how you watch it, whatever. That could be like cool and edgy, and that's really kind of what they, at least initially, I feel we're going for, was like this, oh look how edgy we are, life is meaningless, you know. And that can be fun sometimes, especially when played right. When played very funny, it can be good. But that's kind of where I'm going with this, is that I think Rick and Morty ends up taking it too far as the series progresses. But anyway, I think I'm getting ahead of myself. So when this series first premiered on Adult Swim, I remember actually pretty well because it premiered when I happened to be working an overnight shift, and I was against the rules of the boss. I had the TV on because I was the only one on site, and I'd be watching Adult Swim while I was doing my work. So it premiered, and I remember watching that first episode and being like, the heck is this? This was stupid, you know? It didn't hit with me at all. The animation, at least initially, was really choppy, and if you know it, like a running gag is that Rick burps all the time. Like he'll be in the middle of a sentence and word and like belch the word out. And that can be funny a few times. And as the series progresses, I think they realized how more annoying and that ended up being. But in the first episode, at least, it was like he was constantly burping. And that was a big turnoff for me. It's funny the first couple of times, sure. Especially like, you know, Adult Swim, it's kind of like that middle school humor. So it fit for that, you know, for that space, but it definitely got old quick for me. Part of the reason I didn't continue. So anyway, I kind of got sidetracked. I watched the first episode, it didn't hit with me at all, and I didn't watch any more of it. So, but then I ended up hearing all of these things about it, like way later, and I was like, you know what, I can go ahead and give it another shot. I had it on streaming, you know, one of the streaming services I have. I was able to watch the first few seasons, and I was like, I'm gonna give the show another shot. Everybody's talking about it. I'm seeing their merchandise in different stores and things. So I was like, okay, maybe just the first couple of episodes were rough. Let me give it a shot. I rewatched the first episode. It really wasn't that bad. I'm wondering if maybe at the time my headspace wasn't right for it or what, but it really was. I still didn't like the certain spots. The animation still looked like crap. Excuse me. Also the burping was still really annoying, but it wasn't quite as bad. And then I continued to watch the rest of that season, and you know what? I actually laughed really hard at some spots. It was actually like, I was like, wow, that was really good. I liked it. And then I watched the next season, and I think that was probably, if I have my seasons right in my mind, I think that was the funniest season and where I got the most humor out of it. And I was like literally laughing out loud. And it really was like, wow, this is great. This is really funny. It did get a little too dark in a few spots, and I was kind of like, raised my eyebrow a little bit at a few spots. The people's eyebrow. I raised my eyebrow a few times at some spots, but I was like, excuse me, okay, well, this is, this is good. It's fine. I can handle it. And then I think it was the next season, the third season, it went off the deep end, I think. And especially with the finale, I think it ended on a real downer. If I'm remembering right, again, I could be having my memories and I'm going right off the top of my head here. Um, it ended and I was like, you know what? I don't know if I even want to continue this. It was such a bummer. Um, as I've continued to watch it as it's come up on my streaming, I went in and watched other ones, and it has its moments, but like it's not like the beginning of it was. I think it, and you know what? They even acknowledged it in some of the last season, later episodes, where they're kind of saying, "Oh, we're going back to classic Rick and Morty. It's gonna be Rick and Morty." They were very much like breaking the fourth wall, acknowledging that it got too heavy, but they were still doing the same kind of things. It still ended up getting too heavy, still ended up being too self-referential. It like breaking the fourth wall too much, which, everybody wants to be Deadpool and break the fourth wall, but you got to be real careful with that, in my opinion, because it could very easily get tired, or just end up missing the mark entirely. So I think, kind of at least now, that's where I am with Rick and Morty. When it first premiered, it didn't really click with me. I went back to it years later, and I thought it was really funny. But then the later stuff, it's gotten too dark, too self-aware, too dark, too nihilistic. If that's what you like, that's what you're into, awesome, more power to you. It wasn't really hitting it for me. I don't know. I'm sure as long as I'm getting it free on my streaming, I'm gonna watch it anyway, most likely. But I don't know if I'm going to be liking it the way I did, with the first couple of seasons. And also on like a side thing, I know that there's a big internet presence for it, where the fans are very much like, yeah, I'm Rick, I'm a genius, and everybody else are idiots. I'm really dark and nihilistic, and it's not because I'm a broken human being. It's because the world is messed up, man. And it very much felt like privileged people being like dark and down on themselves, and they really had no reason to be emo, and everybody's entitled to their feelings, and I agree with that. I'm a big proponent of that. Everybody's feelings are important, and all that, but I think this was I think Rick and Morty plugged in to a kind of a toxic space. It was giving these people some fuel, and I didn't really like, and that kind of, I was very quickly like, I'm not looking at anything on social media about these guys because it gets way too toxic and dark for me. But anyway, what are your thoughts on Rick and Morty? Did you watch it? Did you like it? Am I right that it's gotten too self-referential, too self-aware, too nihilistic, that maybe we need a breath of fresh air or something? Need more oh man. I completely messed up his name. Mr. Poopy Underpants. Off the top of my head, I'm sorry, my trademark professionalism. All right, y'all. So thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, do everything. Until next time, thanks for watching. Bye.